Hey there, and welcome to another Kidlit chat. I'm your host, Brooke Van Sickle, as always, and I have the wonderful Haley Casey with me here. How are you doing today?
Hi, Brooke. I'm doing well. How are you?
Thank you so much for doing this. I'm so excited to have you.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. I've loved these videos, so it's fun to be a part of it.
Love it. I love it. So, for those who are watching who maybe never heard of you before, who are you and what do you do?
Yes. So I am Haley Casey, and I am an associate agent at a creative media agency. So run by Paige Wheeler, and then we have co-agent Shannon Snow and Megan Frazier. And I've been a literary agent for, I think we're coming on 2.5 years now. So still pretty new in terms of publishing. It takes a little while to get established, but yeah, it's been wonderful. So I have some awesome clients. I have a couple books coming out, which is always fun. And yeah, looking for all sorts of things.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. But you kind of started in editing before you went to aging, right?
Yes, I
So,
did.
what made you want to be an agent?
So for me, it took a little while to realize that publishing was a path I could actually take. I was an English major, creative writing, all those types of things. I knew if I wanted to do publishing, sort of what I had in my head was like, editor is the only job I really know about. But I did go to the Denver Publishing Institute and heard from tons of people while I was there. One of them was a literary agent, and I thought it sounded incredible. But I also heard basically, if you want to do book publishing, move to New York. And I was like, well, I'm not
Hmm.
going to do that. So I ended up in editing because I found a local magazine publishing company and was able to move into an editor position there. So it was an awesome job. It's where I wanted to be with that company. It's just not where I wanted to stay forever.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, when I finally realized you could do not only some publishing things, but literary agenting from wherever remotely, I could stay in Kansas City. That was like life changing. And so when I did finally intern and get to practice those responsibilities, I was like, yeah, this is it, because it's just such a good mix of, first of all, having different tasks to do, which I always love, but you do get to edit, which is a skill I really like using, but it's not the only thing that I do with my time. So I love the advocacy piece for authors. I love the amount of reading that I get to do. Yeah, just that outreach, writing, pitches for people. I think all of that is such a fun mix. So I like doing that variety more than I like just editing.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's so true because I mean, I don't know about you, but you can't just look at stories like all day. You want to see them go somewhere, you know?
Yes. Well, and the
Yeah.
pressure of editors to make it really good for publication is something I'm not ready for. I'm like, no, I'll do the first part and then somebody else can finish it.
Making sure like the copy edits and those details. Like, yeah,
Gosh, I couldn't be me.
I know. I always put that caveat on my emails. Like, I'm not a copy editor. If you catch an error, like, it's just not me. It's
Exactly.
not my suit. I love it. So, what is something that gets you most excited about when you're working with authors? What's
Yeah.
what
No,
excites you?
that's a great question. A lot of things. Um, I just think there's something so cool about the job itself where you're being trusted with somebody else's work and writing and the stuff that they put on the page. And so it's a lot of pressure, but I love just that you get to see things from their very first stage
Yeah.
and then watch it become a finished product. I don't think there's anything cooler or more rewarding than reading something from your query inbox and seeing that very, very first piece and then getting to work on it and pass it off to editors and then see it become an actual book. I just think the process itself, that stage one piece of the process is just, yeah, I think that is so cool. And it's always great to dive into those and just be like, yeah, this is where it starts.
Does it kind of feel like an Easter egg hunt where you're just like, oh, I'm just looking for the goodies?
Yeah, yes, kind of. Yeah, most of the queries I get are really good. Of course, we can't take them all on, but yeah, when you find that one where you're like, oh, this sounds really great. This sounds like what I've been wanting. And then you read the pages and you're like, oh, and the writing is really good. And just, yeah, it just keeps going.
I love it. So, what's something that would like pull you in and make you want to read more?
Yeah, I am a character driven reader through and through. So if they've got a strong voice and you know who they are and what they're feeling and really feel like you're in a scene with a character, I will read anything. It doesn't matter what the plot is. And conversely, I think if there's a character starts to feel flat, they could be going through the most exciting plot in the world, and there's still a piece of me that's disengaged. So those writers who can nail that voice right from those opening pages, just again, that excitement piece where you're like, okay, you keep turning the pages because you want to know what else.
Like you're vested in that person. Like
exactly.
The character is real in your mind,
Yes, very much so. And that happens right away. So that will always get me.
Yeah, I love it. So you mentioned it a little bit earlier about you have some books coming out. So like, what are you kind of working on that has you really excited?
Yes. Everything has me really excited right now. I have been this last like month or two, I've had 4 different manuscripts that I've been working on with clients, like brand new projects. And so that's always super fun to see these people that I've been working with for a little while, their brand new idea, and like watch that happen. It's so great. So I'm excited about all of those as soon as they're in my inbox. And I do have, for me, it's tomorrow when this video comes out, May 9th. The very first book that I've represented that's going to be like on shelves is coming out. So that's big. It is called Breakup Makeup, and it is a YA romance, contemporary romance. Yeah.
What's it about? Pitch us on it.
Okay. It is a non-binary main character, non-binary author, and it's a second chance romance. And so this character, they are in what's called makeup wars. So it's a cosplay competition where they're kind of doing the runway, they're making their own costumes, and only a few finalists get in. And once they get there, they realize that they're competing against their ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
So it's the two of them sort of coming back together and interacting throughout this competition.
I like it. I bet that has like a lot of really fun, like steamy kind of things.
Yes, it does. The characters, again, phenomenal. And just the descriptions of the makeup and the artistry of all of that is so compelling. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Have you ever gone to like a cosplay or anything like those kind of Comic-Cons or anything? Me neither. But I keep being told that they're super fun. So I'm always like, you should check them out. Or at least like a Renaissance fair or something.
Right? Yeah. No, I'm deep into some of the fandoms that are at those cons, but I've never actually been to one myself.
Well, you live in Kansas City. Apparently there's one really good in Omaha. So it's not too far.
Okay, that's good to know. The only one I hear about is San Diego. And I'm like, I can't make it there.
That's a really big jump. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No, I hear that one's good. So, well then last question is, I kind of like to ask this something fun. Is there anything fun or unexpected that someone would be surprised to learn about you?
Yeah. So don't know how much fun other people think this is, but I think something that is not part of my online presence very much is that I am really into gardening and sustainability things. So it's actually the magazines that I started at. They were focused on homesteading on some levels, but also a lot of green living and natural living. And so just everything that I learned there was incredible. And I got didn't come from a houseplant family, but I got one, and then somebody was giving away tomato seedlings. So I got one of those. And so it just became this really quick build of now I start my own seeds, and I have gardening space all over the house and make my own, beauty products sometimes. So there's a whole piece of that going on behind the scenes.
Isn't that cool? Because it came from your editing job. So it's you wouldn't have thought that this is where it would have taken you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was very much the more I learned, the more into it I got.
Yeah, I love it. And we have a bunch of seeds that we've been growing. My husband's let's try it and see how it works. So
yes.
See them pop out of the ground. You're like, oh my gosh, I built this.
Yes, it is so much. It's so rewarding. It doesn't always work, but yeah, there's something about it.
But I know when we first started dating, he got me a plant. I'm like, why'd you give me a responsibility?
Yes.
Cut flowers, they die. It's you don't feel bad about it, but a plant you feel bad about.
Yeah, I know. And I've had plants die for sure. I'm not an expert, but I do love it. And yeah, my husband has gotten me some too, where then I'm like, okay, now I have to find out exactly what it is, how to take care of it, do it right.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. This has been so fun. Thank you so much for doing this and taking the time.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was great.
Yeah. So where should someone go if they are interested in learning more about you?
Sure. So easiest place is just the CMA website. So it is cmalit.com. Everything about the agency and our books and our wish lists are on there. And then across social media, and I guess right now that's mostly, it's Instagram and Twitter, but it's Haley_J_Casey are my profiles.
Perfect. Perfect. I love it. Well, thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you.